Hello and welcome back to How to Write Science Fiction That Doesn't Suck. I'm Rick Partlow, and it's been so long since I've recorded an episode I almost forgot the title of my own channel. I'm really sorry that I have fallen off of this, but real life has intruded in many ways. One, work-wise, I've had to complete 5 books already this year. I have 5 more to go. I am currently plotting 4 different books at the same time, and it feels frustrating because it's taken 2 weeks and I haven't written anything in the books. I've written plot outlines, and I'm falling behind on my deadlines for a couple of them, but I need to get these outlines done, so I'm doing them. And also, it's summer. My kids have visited here, and I've but I wanted to spend time with them, and that has eaten into my writing time and the time I have to record things like this. Also, there have been personal things. I won't go into all of them, but just, you guys know I have a couple of dogs. One's older. She's like 13 and a half, and we just found out she has cancer, and we're going to have to make a decision with regard to her quality of life very soon. And that's something else that just, brings you down and weighs you down, and you can't think about doing anything else. So anyway, I thought I would come on today and do an update, and also sort of get into what happens when real life intrudes on your work. This isn't an output type of show. It's not a marketing type of show. You guys know that. But also, even if you're just watching this for the craft, sometimes the craft takes a backseat to other things. What's happened since I last talked to you guys? A lot. For those of you who don't know my publishing situation, I began self-published. Everything I have was self-published. And then I had started with the series with Athon Books. Wholesale Slaughter was the first series we did together. And I also did a series with Pramantha Press, and one with Variant Press. That is my younger dog, not the one that has health problems, by the way. That's Buddy. He's about 4.5 years old. And he's a cutie, yes. I have, and since then I have taken all my indie books, the ones I had self-published, and I have basically sold them the rights to publish them to Athon, because they do a much better job at marketing than I do. So a lot of things have changed with regard to my publishing situation. And I also recently went to a conference, to LibertyCon in Chattanooga, and got to hang out with a lot of very cool writers, mostly Baen writers from Baen Books, because I had not been aware really that LibertyCon was mostly Baen writers and editors. But it was nice to meet all those people. Some of them I already had met, like Larry Correia, David Weber. But I did get to meet and be on a panel with John Ringo, which was incredible. John Ringo, his Him Before Battles series, the Legacy of the Aldenata, that was one of the things that got me into really being interested in writing military science fiction. So it was very cool to meet him. And just to get to hang out with all those people, and convinced me maybe I want to try to pitch something to Baen. You beat the old dream of being traditionally published, like when I was in my 20s. Well, we'll see. That's one of the many things that I have going on, one of the irons in the fire. Aside from that, United Airlines sucks. Just after my experience flying to Chattanooga and back, United is the only airline that flies out of Cody, so to go in to use any other airline, I have to drive minimum of 2 hours each way, and it just sucks having to deal with United every single time. Um, but getting back to writing. So real life, as I said, has intruded. We moved, we had various, teething issues with the house, we had to get fixed. Nothing major. It's a fairly new house, but we had problems with like the water pump from the well. It wasn't the water pump itself, which is also fairly new, but the wire going from the water pump to the breaker somehow got exposed to water or to something. It got broken somehow, half of it. It was causing one outage after another at the well, so I had to get that fixed. Had to get a leak in the pump house fixed. It's just been, little things. We had we bought a mower and had to get something fixed on that. So it's just, life intruding in ways that are unavoidable, but they do affect production. And when you are in this as a business and it's your only form of income, anything that affects production is vexing. But I have started writing a new series for Athon. I got the first book finished. It's supposed to be out in October. It might come out earlier. I'm still working on the Drop Trooper series for them. I'm finished book 10 and it's out, and I'm going to be starting work on book 11 in a month or two. I am working on book 6 in the Earth at War series, which may be the final book in that series. At least it's the final book in this current story arc. And Permantha Press had published financed the audiobooks of the first 3 books in that series, but we had mutually agreed to wait on getting the audiobooks for books 4 through 6 because it was just really expensive and eating into the profits and not generating a big enough profit on top of that to make it worthwhile. But we've made a deal with Podium audiobook publishers to publish books 4 through 6 and use the same narrators. So for the people that read those books, you'll be able to, or listen to them actually, you'll be able to hear them read by the same narrator, Scott Aiello. So that was good news. The series I did with Variant Publishing, Sunkiller, we got 3 books in and it did well, but it didn't do super well. It didn't do well enough to make it worth investing a huge amount more time and effort into writing more books in that series. So I have talked to Jeff Cheney, J.N. Cheney, who runs that place, and we're working on another series to do together. But that's going to be probably the beginning of next year. And I think that's about it, aside from all the personal stuff going on. As you can see, it's summer outside in Wyoming, which means everything is green, everything needs to be mowed, everything needs to be watered. Our yard was half full of water from the irrigation because it takes that to get to the trees. Irrigation, we're out in rural farm country, so irrigation's a big thing out here. You pay for it with your taxes. So that is what's going on in my life and in my career. And I am sorry that I have not gotten more videos out to you guys. I am open to suggestions of what subjects you want more videos on. I've really, honestly, kind of exhausted the subjects I wanted to talk about when I started this. So if it's coming down to what you want me to talk about. So if you want me to address a subject, do me a favor, don't do it in the comments on YouTube. I mean, you can put it there also. That's fine. But it's easier for me to keep track of the ideas if you email me at duty, D-U-T-Y, honor planet 487 at gmail.com. Just email me any ideas you have that you would like addressed with this, I want to say podcast, but YouTube channel. I kind of wish it were a podcast, but that would require an investment of time and money and equipment that I am not ready to make. So I guess that's about it. Give me any ideas you have for future shows, and any questions you might have. Feel free to address those to me as well at that email, dutyhonorplanet487 at gmail.com. If you want to contact me on Facebook, go to the Science Fiction Worlds of Rick Partlow. Don't go to my personal page, because I do not accept friend requests from people there unless I have connections to them in real life, because I talk about personal stuff, about politics, about all kinds of stuff on Facebook and my personal page, and I'm not going to get into those arguments with people who I don't have some connection with in real life. So if you want to talk to me on Facebook, go to the Science Fiction Worlds of Rick Partlow, which is facebook.com/dutyhonorplanet. And you can contact me in either of those places, and I will be happy to answer any questions you have, and I will be happy to take suggestions for future shows. I really have not had time. The main problem isn't that I haven't had time to record, because obviously you can squeeze in a half an hour now and then, anytime you want. The problem is I have run out of my own ideas for things that I want to talk about. I've addressed the matters that really mattered to me when I started this series, so everything else is going to come from you. So tell me what you would like me to talk about, and I will get into that. Other than that, I have nothing else. I hope that you are all having a good summer, and that you've been doing well since the last time we connected here. And I hope, if you have a pet, give them a big hug, give them a special treat, because it doesn't last long enough. And do the same for people, because that never lasts long enough either. All right, thank you all, and I will be looking forward to your suggestions.